Hey guys, welcome back to. Wait, no, that's not how we start the podcast, is it? Is that how we do it?
Welcome back to the pod.
Welcome
episode
back.
36.
Welcome back to the podcast, episode 36. We've already started a bit weird today because I'm not in my usual setup where I've got like the intro music playing. I know you could, like people listening and watching, you can hear the intro play, but normally I can hear it. But because of where I am, I don't have the intro playing, and it's very weird. So I don't know where to come in. I don't know what to say. So hey guys, welcome back, episode 36.
We got it.
Episode 36 of the Ras and Slice Golf Show podcast. My name is Theo. Gentlemen, to my side, by my side, as always, my partner in crime, Chenji. Hi, Chenji. What's going on?
What's going on, big man? Look at us. We are making technology work for us.
We are trying our best.
We are in two different countries.
Yeah, we're in
two different countries.
You are where you normally are in London. I am in Bulgaria. I brought my podcast gear with me, like part of it, microphone, headphones, all that kind of stuff. Nothing works, so I'm using a different sort of microphone today. I hope the audio is good. I hope you can hear me well. If you can't hear me well, I'm sorry. It'll be better next week, I promise. If you can hear me well, you know, just carry on with your normal business. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a weird setup, right? Because you're comfortable in your couch in your living room, and I'm in a massive bedroom where I've got like a weird setup in the back of the room just to record this podcast. There's cameras, there's microphones, there's lights. I've got a suitcase full of stuff that I didn't need to bring, that I paid extra money to bring, and I don't need it. So yeah, welcome to the Ras and Slice podcast. Please like and subscribe. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, to be honest, like what you need to do is after this podcast, you need to take a picture of like the room with the chair in it, because it literally looks like you're in an interrogation room.
What I'll do,
especially,
I'll take a picture, and if I always say this, like whenever I say I'm going to insert a picture here, I never do it, but I'm going to try and remember I'm going to take a picture of the setup and how everything looks, and I'm going to put it here in the video format. If you're listening, go to our YouTube channel, Ras and Slice Golf Podcast, and you know, look at the picture, you know. But it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
It looks like, because you're literally, you are. Tell us where you are.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna plug. Yeah, I feel like it's a bit weird to like hold this little clip-on microphone. So I'm gonna place it on me, and I'm gonna hope that it sounds well. It looks really weird, doesn't it? But it's fine. That'll do. So I've got free hands. I never have free hands, which is really weird. So
there we go.
Right. So brilliant. Look, dude, we've got so much to talk about today. I don't even know where to begin.
First of all, before we start, where are you?
I am in Bulgaria. Currently, I am staying at the Lighthouse Golf Resort in Bulgaria. I don't even know where I am. I genuinely don't even know. Like, there's no cities, there's no towns anywhere near me. It's just golf resorts.
The closest town is Varna, right, where you flew into,
which is an hour away. So it's not that close, you know.
No way, it's an hour away.
Dude, we are in the sticks.
That's far. That is far.
Dude, it's.
We are in the Derbyshire of Bulgaria.
No. We're not even that. We're in. I don't even know. We're in what do you call it? We're in. I had to go and check if the camera was recorded. Yeah, it is. We're in. I don't even know, like some abandoned village in England. I don't even know any abandoned villages, but it's just so weird.
Oh
man.
My goodness!
Like there's nothing around here. There's 3 golf courses that I know of, literally within a stone throw away. We're here to play Thracian Cliffs, which we did, but I'm not going to get into that straight away. Tomorrow we might play Lighthouse Golf Club, which is where we're staying. There's also literally next door to where I am. You could see it from my balcony. It's a golf course called Black Sirama, which is a Gary Player course, which we didn't get a time to play.
Oh wow!
But it's just unbelievable. Nothing's open. I'll get into Bulgaria later because there's a lot of stuff to go through. First, I want to.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about the Masters? Shall we do that first? To kind of.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's only been a day, hasn't it?
I mean, has it sank in? Like, I don't know. Like, how you feeling?
I mean, okay, this is how I feel, right? Like on Saturday, I was like buzzing.
Okay.
Right.
Why?
It was like fun to watch It was fun to watch the players go very high in very tricky conditions, right? Because in a way, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, it's fun to see people hitting 400-yard drives, but it's also equally as fun seeing like, you know, Jon Rahm, who usually hits it on average 300 yards, at least 295 or something, hit it only 230, 240 yards, making things so much more tricky. So people were going really high during Saturday when it was like, torrential downpour, right? And then plus, we had Koepka lead the way. We had Jon Rahm, chasing very close on the chase. We've got a lot of, some of our favorite players as well, being in contention. People like, what's it called again? Colin Morikawa.
Jason Day.
We've got Jason Day.
Oh
exactly.
My God. There was so many.
Victor Hovland, obviously, he's a favorite.
Yeah. You know what? It was up until Saturday and even Sunday morning a little bit, like through the front nine, shall I say? It was fun to watch because it was close between Jon Rahm and Brookes Koepka, and you're like, oh, it's going to go to the final hole. It was this, was that. At the end, it was a pretty anticlimactic experience. Just like last year.
Exactly. Just smashed exactly like last year.
It was just it was a bit boring. It was decent golf, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like it didn't go right. It didn't go to the final hole. There wasn't that much action when you thought there was going to be action. From third place below, they were quite far away from first and second, so they couldn't really catch up. Jordan Spieth played very well on the final day, but he didn't kind of do well. Phil Mickelson, out of nowhere, absolutely smashed it. I don't even know how, but he played incredible golf all throughout the week. I don't know, man. Like, overall, I'm probably more impressed with the people from position 3 and downwards than what I am for first and second, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm more impressed that Phil Mickelson finished third. I'm more impressed that Sam Bennett, the amateur, absolutely shot his lights out like Thursday and Friday. He kind of lost his way Saturday and Sunday. But it was incredible golf from them. Jason Day playing very well, amazing. Sahith Theegala chipping on 16th, the famous Tiger Woods chip, unbelievable. It was just good golf from everybody else.
No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I agree. And I actually really enjoyed watching all the other golfers apart from sort of like the guy, the last group, right, which is Koepka and Jon Rahm.
Yeah.
Jon Rahm was consistent as always. Koepka kind of like faltered. I think he just, he wasn't performing really well, on Sunday. He was +4, was it +5 for the day?
Yeah.
Obviously was leading at one point by like 3 shots, but lost the whole tournament by,
I think,
what was it, 4 shots.
I don't know if the pressure got to him or not, but I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, you know what he said. You know what he said post-interview, that, big part, one of the reasons he didn't really play well was because the group in front was so bloody slow.
Mate, okay. The group in front of him was Victor Hovland and Patrick Cantlay. Right?
Patrick Cantlay, yeah.
Okay. I've seen a post today. I've got it screenshotted in front of me. Apparently, everybody's saying that the reason why Victor Hovland did not play well on his final round was because of Patrick Cantlay's slow play, right? So there's a post I saw. Patrick Cantlay taps it on the 18th, 4 hours and 50 minutes after he teed off playing in a pair. Dude, who plays golf for 5 hours, especially if you're a professional golfer?
Exactly. It's not like you're looking for balls, right?
No.
Every hole.
No, mate, it doesn't make any sense. They don't lose any balls. Even if they slice the ball or they hook it, the ball is found straight away. He's normally like around a patron or somebody.
Yeah, you've got a whole team. We've got a whole patrons. We've got the marshals. We've got the balls, volunteers. Right? The cameraman. Right, no everybody is looking for it.
So I went down like a loophole of Patrick Cantlay TikTok videos. Dude, he takes like 45 seconds to a minute on his pre-shot routine to get ready before he hits a shot. Is like, that is just madness. Nearly 5 hours. Right. Nearly 5 hours to play a round of golf. I didn't know this until I read it. But yeah, and Brookes was like jokingly saying to like in the media, like, yeah, even like Jon Rahm went for like 7 bathroom breaks and we were still on time. There was no reason why. Imagine. And apparently everybody's saying that the reason why Victor Hovland was playing so bad is because Patrick Cantlay was taking so long to take his shots and kind of threw him off the game a bit. It's not a genuine, I wouldn't say it's a genuine excuse, but it is very annoying. Like, how many times have we been stuck around like behind a slow group and you're like getting warmed up or whatever, and then you're waiting and you're looking around and you're getting a bit frustrated, and then you go and take a next shot and you're not as warm as you were, you're not as hot as you were. and you kind of lose it a little bit. You know, it happens to every single one of us. And, you know, at that professional level, for them to do that, it's a bit weird. Like, there should be, I don't know if it's like, there should be a rule of like, you need to be this long and this long, but come on, man. Like,
I mean, there is definitely a rule for slow play, right? And
well, for us there is, because there's marshals going around saying speed up, but I don't know, there's no marshals saying to Patrick Cantlay, come on, mate, like, you're taking ages, speed up, you know?
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I think next Masters, it might be a thing, right? You know, I think they might actually say, okay, right, you know, if your round is going for, you know, if you finish the front 9 and you are like already sort of like, you know, taking up 2.5 hours on a 2 ball, right? Then, you know, okay, you need to, you know, actually make up some time. Otherwise, we will penalize you. But then again, the problem is, you know, it's like Victor Hovland is just playing normal, right? You know, he's playing, you know, quick as usual. But it's Patrick Cantlay. So how do you penalize a group if it's just one of the players in the group making, you know, well, doing the slow play? Yeah, so it affects everybody. It affects a group here with you. It affects the whole groups behind you. Now imagine, I mean, to be fair, what if Patrick Cantlay's group was like the first one to tee off, right? So everybody, every single like group afterwards would be basically like, you know, be under slow play. Yeah.
Do you know what, right? It might be stupid of me to say, or like, oh, you should know this or whatever. I didn't know that up until 2 hours ago. I didn't know that Patrick Cantlay, I didn't know that Patrick Cantlay was such a slow player until I read the post and I seen Brookes Koepka's interview. Because I've watched the Masters, I've watched everything, but I didn't watch his interview afterwards, right? And I'm surprised, because it's a famous thing. I'm surprised that I didn't know about this before. I'm surprised that there isn't a rule in place, because if you think about it, for us or for the pros, if you lose the ball, the rule is you have 3 minutes to find your ball. Otherwise, it's deemed as a lost ball. You get a penalty, right? So why is there not a rule in place for slow play, where if you don't take your shot within 3 minutes of being over the ball, then that's a stroke penalty? Is that not a fair thing
I think there is I think there is a rule which is like about a minute, you know, after you've addressed the ball, you have to like, you know, basically hit the shot. But I think he just does it literally like every single shot he makes, he takes like a minute.
Right.
Anyway.
So a minute, it's not a long time, but when you're over the ball and you're like,
once you,
address
exactly. Once you add up all the shots, right? It's like, that's a lot. That is a lot.
For us, right? It's like 100 minutes for 100
so,
shots.
But again, I wouldn't be surprised because of, you know, what this, you know, I think it's definitely causing a bit of noise, right? You know, both obviously Jon is probably affected by it as well. Jon Rahm, Koepka affected, Victor Hovland affected. Right? So next year, especially we're talking about such a big tournament. You know, some of the biggest players in the game, right? The Masters Committee might say something, right? Okay, new local rule that you have to finish around by 4 hours and 30 minutes, unless some kind of big force majeure happens, like, you know, weather or you know, else. On a normal conditions, you need to finish your round by 4 hours and 30 minutes, and, you know, make some provisions on, you know, okay, you know, who is actually the person doing the rule. I don't know how it's going to happen, but hopefully it's going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if nothing happens. I genuinely wouldn't. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
Everyone used to make fun of like Kevin.
It's hard. It's hard to enforce though, isn't it? That's the problem, right? It's just hard to enforce. You can have all the rules, but, you know, if you can't enforce it, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone used to make fun of like Kevin Na because he would always be a little bit slow, but I didn't think it was that slow. You know, but you know, because I used to watch. I'm a big Kevin Na fan. I didn't think he was that slow compared to Patrick Cantlay. Then there's, you know, not even close. Speaking of weather, did you see what happened with the trees?
Yeah, I saw that one, man.
How that happened, first of all, how that happened, how those 2 trees at the Masters fell. Not only why they fell, but how it didn't hurt anybody, I have no idea. It was so bad. There was if you don't know, which you know, there's no way you don't know about this if you're listening to this podcast. 2 trees, is it 2 or 3 trees, broke off on the Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon or whatever it was.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
And it was, what I did see was, it was one tree. Like,
wait, no, Friday. It was Friday.
I think it was Friday. It was one like massive tree. I don't even know what tree. What is that tree? Birch? No, I don't even know. But one of the trees kind of broke off halfway up, and the massive long trees, right? And then that fell. Okay, cool, whatever. And then there was another tree, dude. It fell, and the whole like entire roots of the entire tree kind of fell over, and like it was right near patrons. I don't know how it was, and it was while like people were playing. I think it was Sergio Garcia was on the green while he was trying to putt, and then you just see him like look up, and he just sees like the tree starting to fall, and then you could like the patrons could hear the tree crack, so they kind of ran away and they were like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" It was the first time in history that patrons were running at Augusta, because obviously you're not allowed to run. So it was one of those things where on Augusta, like they're not going to be like, "Oh, you ran, you're banned, get out." Obviously, like a tree was falling down.
Imagine, can you imagine Augusta banning like
Augusta are
people.
so strict with their rules that I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, you, and you. We saw you running, mate. Off you go, get out. do you know what, right?
Sir, I was running away from the tree. I was going to be killed. It was like, no excuse. Doesn't matter if you die or not. There's no excuse.
Yeah,
rather die than break the rules. This is
weird.
Augusta National. This is the Masters.
I know. It's crazy. I was going to say something about Augusta, but I completely forgot. But yeah, it's just that there's that many rules at Augusta that like you just can't break them, mate. Like you can't. There's no way around it. Do you know what's really weird as well? I saw a lot of pictures on Instagram of like people taking pictures at Augusta, and it wasn't practice days. I saw Rick Shields on Instagram. I'm sure he posted a picture. I could be wrong. I'm sure he posted a picture of Tiger Woods on Saturday when the weather wasn't very good and he was wearing like a hat and then a woolly hat on top. Like that wasn't a practice round. How are you taking pictures? Because you're not allowed. Not even.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that wasn't the practice round. I mean, that wasn't the tournament round. That was like a practice round, which you are.
Pictures that I saw on like all over social media. That
are you sure? Are you sure it was a Saturday?
I'm sure it was. But I could be wrong. I don't know. It was
maybe it was like a part of a media pass or something, right? So I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody's allowed. Like nobody's allowed camera. I don't care.
That's why I think maybe it was posted on Saturday or Sunday, but it was actually taken on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I don't know, but it's. Did you see? Yeah,
I don't know.
It's one of those things. Did you see like all the controversial bits that happened at the Masters?
What do you mean? Like what?
Like Brookes Koepka and his caddy, like Colin Morikawa with the ball on the green.
Yeah. So I saw that one. Yeah, but it's just media taking things out of proportion, right? I mean,
big time.
These are all normal things.
These are
just normal things.
I don't know if the people listening and watching know this. Every golf tournament that you watch, it's the PGA that's putting on the show, shall we say, right? So it's the PGA that's like doing the production. With the Masters, it's the only golf tournament that the Masters are doing are broadcasting this out, and they sell the rights to CBS and Sky Sports Golf and blah 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 blah. So what this does is that it allows the Masters and the committee to only show whatever they want to show. So if they don't want to show, I don't know, let's say, what do you call it, like a mower, they're not going to show it. Where sometimes Sky Sports might show you like a little behind the scenes or whatever, or so because the Masters want to show the perfection of Augusta. They don't want to risk giving the broadcast to a third party company and then risk showing something that we don't want to see, kind of thing. So what this does is that it allows the Masters and the committee to only show what they want to show. So what happened was, let's go to Colin Morikawa. I'm not sure exactly the reason, but they didn't show. So what happened was, Colin Morikawa, he was on the green and his ball was about 6 inches in front of his marker, and then he picks up, and then you see him pick up the marker and put it behind his ball, and then that got clipped, and he went all over social media. Oh, he cheated. How can he do that? He put his ball forward.
Pulling a Patrick Reed.
Not even Patrick Reed would do this. It's so obvious. Like, first of all, he didn't cheat. Something happened where the ball moved out of its place, and the original ball placement was where the ball was. So he just got his marker and just put it where it was supposed to be. Like, and there was nothing wrong with it, right? But what happened
was cleared. Yeah.
It was cleared by the rules officials and everything. But what happened was, with the Masters broadcasting this thing, they didn't show on live coverage Colin Morikawa talking to rules officials and marshals. It just showed the bit where the ball was there and like the marker was 6 inches behind, and he just got picked up the marker and put it in front. And social media went nuts. They were like, he's cheating. Even if he did cheat, like, what are the chances, mate? There's 1,000 cameras all pointed at Colin Morikawa. There is absolutely no way that he can cheat and get away with it, unless it's Patrick Reed, of course. But that's a different story. But it's just like, what is going... Go on.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, it's just the power of media these days, isn't
It's
it? And it doesn't matter.
mental.
It just spreads. It just spreads. And most people don't do any research before they make, once they've seen something, they just believe it to be true, right? If only you clicked on the comment section,
That's it.
most of the comments are actually like, yeah, this was blown way too much in proportion. It's because it was like in a downhill slope or something.
Yeah.
And then once basically like, he was stepped back to address the ball moved back by another 6 inches, and then in which case, after clearing with the rules official and his playing partners, everybody says, yep, that's right, put it back in the original position, did the right thing of putting his markers, putting it back, placing it 6 inches forward, putting his marker back in there, and then, taking it away and then putting the ball. But media, as always, just
Crazy.
blows things out of proportion because it sells,
Yeah.
right? Because people are talking about it. People are comparing him against Patrick Reed, right? And people are reacting. People are commenting. The algorithm, right? Remember when our video got very viral, it was like basically split opinions whether we were right or whether we were wrong, right? That's gotten us the views. So it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
The same kind of controversial bits happened with Brookes Koepka and his caddy, where Brookes Koepka was about to like hit a shot on the I don't know what hole it was, and his caddy turned to his left or right, wherever it was, and he did like the hand 5 gesture to show Brookes is hitting a 5-iron, and again because who was he playing with? Whoever his opponent was, when Brookes caddy showed the 5. On TV, it looked like Brookes caddy told the other player's caddy, oh, by the way, Brookes is playing a 5-iron. And then the whole like internet went absolutely mental. They were like, oh, why is Brookes caddy saying to the other caddy what club like he's using? You're not allowed, that's against the rules, blah, blah, blah. Obviously that went viral and that was crazy. But what actually happened was, and it's something that we don't really see. Did you see this, by the way? Did you know this?
No, I didn't see this actually. No.
Yeah. So basically, So that's what happened. But what happened was, it's a normal thing where caddies sometimes look at the cameraman or like somebody that's holding a scorecard or like the microphone, for example, and they show the number 5 as in to tell the broadcasters and the TV people, oh, he's playing a 5-iron, and that's when it shows. Sometimes when you watch golf and it shows in the top right hand corner, 190 yards. And 5-iron, 4-iron, 3-wood, whatever. So that's how the TV people know what club that player is using. The caddy kind of points it out, and it just so happened that where the cameraman was to tell, he's using a 5-iron, it was next to his caddy, the other guy, the other player's caddy, and everyone was like, oh, he shouldn't be doing that, blah blah. But then he was like, no, mate, I'm just telling the cameraman. And I'm like, why are people taking this so out of proportion, first of all? Why is it even a rule where you can't tell somebody what club you're using? It doesn't make it, in my opinion, it doesn't make a difference. Like, if I tell you, Chenji, like, if you ask me, for example, if you're playing golf, I know it's against the rule. Like, if you're playing in a competition and you say, you're not gonna do it because it's against the rules, but let's say you do it. You say, what club are you using? And I say, I'm using a pitching wedge. If me using a pitching wedge changes your opinion on what club you should be playing with, then that's your problem.
Exactly.
Agreed, right? There's a famous thing where...
Agreed.
There's a famous story with Adam Scott and Tiger Woods where it's Adam Scott's honour to tee off, and then Tiger Woods, I think he gets his 3-wood and he's holding his 3-wood, and he's just holding it like getting ready to play second, and Adam Scott goes and he like sees Tiger Woods play like, oh, he's about to hit a 3-wood. And Adam's like, oh, I've got a 4-iron in my hand. Like, it's like if Tiger Woods is going to use 3-wood, I should be using 3-wood. So Adam Scott goes back in his bag, gets a 3-wood, and then like smashes it, and it goes it's like too good, it's too long. He got the wrong club. And then Tiger Woods kind of smirks and goes back in his bag, puts the 3-wood back in the bag and gets the 4-iron out. And that was like a little trick that Tiger Woods did, where he would show you one club to make you believe that he's using that club. But then he's like, it's like a trick, which I love. Like, yes, it's not Tiger's fault that Adam Scott changed his mind on what club to hit because he saw what Tiger Woods was going to hit. Like, no, that's your responsibility. It's your job. If I'm telling you I'm hitting pitching wedge, like our distances are not the same. So what differences does it make if I'm telling you that I'm using a pitching wedge when you're going to use a 9-iron, for example? Like, it makes no difference.
To be fair, there's only that many people in the field, right? It's quite easy. It's like, same thing as, in football where you watch tape, right? And players know each other's game.
Yeah.
Come on, you know each other's games.
They play
so
together.
If I was Tiger Woods, if I was Jon Rahm, I know exactly what Brookes Koepka does with his 8-iron or 7-iron or 6-iron.
Exactly. And they're quite similar as well. Like, they're not that far off. Like,
plus, the data is all in the public domain. Exactly. Everybody knows.
Exactly. So it's
everybody knows.
Why is it such a big deal, man? Like, relax. It's just madness. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It was a bit controversial, man. One of many
rules. Many rules. But speaking of, in terms of broadcasting, right, one of the best things that I thought about the Masters was because Masters controls the broadcast rights, right? You could see all the action, all the players, shot by shot on their app. Mate, did you download their app, by the way?
Yeah, mate. It is the greatest app ever invented.
It's the most amazing thing first of all, ever. Oh my goodness.
First of all, the Masters app, I've got the PGA app obviously on my phone, right? And I'm constantly on it, seeing scores and leaderboards and latest news and whatever. But the Masters app, I download the week of the Masters and then I delete today. I delete it on Monday after the Masters, and I'm like, okay, next year I'll just download it again, right? First of all, the Masters app, it shows you the data, shall we say, and the leaderboard a little bit faster than the PGA app. And the Masters app, it shows you each shot, every single highlight of every single shot of every single player. So if you miss any shots,
perfectly cut, perfectly sequenced.
Cut. It shows you everything about that app is just perfection. And I wouldn't be surprised, and I could be wrong, obviously, if the Masters has like a copyright where the PGA or a different golf app, shall we say, like a golf, like a live score or whatever, can't use the same format. Because why wouldn't PGA do the same thing to show highlights of every single tournament every single week? Like, it's just the best. You go on, you find your favorite player, you're like, like for example, say here's chip on the 16th, right? When you kind of chipped it.
Yeah, you can. Oh man.
You're like, I want to watch it, or you want to show somebody. Because for me, I wanted to watch it again, but it wasn't on social media yet. I was like refreshing the PGA Tour Instagram page, and it wasn't on there yet. So I was like, I couldn't see the replay of it. But then you go on the Masters app, and you can see it as many times as you want, perfectly, 4K. It's just the best. It's unbelievable.
It single-handedly saved my Masters weekend because I wasn't at home during the Masters weekend, right?
Yeah.
I was traveling right in Prague. Yeah. But what it meant was that anytime I had some downtime, I could just catch all of my favorite players' shots from every single hole, which was just the most incredible thing. Like, you didn't need to watch live as well. Obviously, watching live is still different, especially when you talk about a Sunday, right? You want to be watching what players are doing shot by shot. You want to hear the commentary. Nick Faldo, as always, does a great job analyzing, the players' swings, thoughts about whether, about slopes of the green. But literally, that app, you can just rewind every single shot of every single player on the field. And I just don't understand why the PGA Tour, why Sky Sports, why CBS, I don't know, couldn't do this. I think it's a PGA Tour thing.
Like I said, I don't think it's. I genuinely think it's like a copyright issue, because it just doesn't make sense why you can't do that. I'll tell you what. Let's see if on the Live Golf app, if you can do this in the next 6 months to a year. Because if they don't do it, because you know what they're like, oh yeah, that's a really cool thing.
Live will do it. Yeah.
So if they don't do it, then it's definitely a copyright thing.
And especially this time, did you watch on Saturday, by the way? The Masters on Saturday.
I watched.
Actually, to be fair, both days. The leaders were not in either featured group. So Sky Sports, obviously, they don't work in a way where the Americans do. Basically in the US, right? It's it's like a feature group. We've got the 3-4-5 hole 3-4-5 amen corner, and then 15, 16, 17, right? But the feature group, they always feature two different groups, right? But Brookes Koepka and Jon Rahm was not part of the featured group on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous. Yeah. How can you not have the last playing group as a feature group? And I think that's just, again, pretty much PGA being a bit petty here, really.
I don't know. It might be. There might be a reason.
Yeah, there might be a reason, but it's just a bit silly.
To
But
be fair,
because of the Masters app, right? You could just be watching all of their shots anyway. Especially applying on Saturday, right? Where if you watch the feature group, you couldn't watch Koepka's and Jon Rahm's shots, but you could just literally press all the holes and then see them play the holes.
Do you know what really surprised me though? Like you said, Nick Faldo and like everybody in the studio talking about obviously the Masters and everything. I was quite surprised how, first of all, they mentioned Live Golf. They didn't kind of shy away from Live Golf. They talked about Live Golf. They kept saying Live Golf, Live Golf, Live Golf over and over again. And it surprised me because I wouldn't be surprised if the PGA went to like Sky Sports or CBS and they were like, guys, minimize the word Live Golf. I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but it didn't. And it did show, like, whenever there was a good shot from Patrick Reed, he showed it. Whenever there was a good shot from, obviously, Brookes Koepka, he showed him quite a lot. Phil Mickelson, he showed him quite a lot. Who else? I didn't really see Sergio Garcia. Bryson, absolutely.
No.
I didn't see
nothing.
A single shot from Bryson.
Missed the cut.
Even Thursday, Friday, I didn't see a single shot from Bryson. That, we didn't really see a single shot from Rory because he missed the cut and he played terrible. But yeah, it's just weird. What I really enjoyed though, and what really impressed me, and I was like, tip my hat. It was the performance, not the performance, the attitude from Live Golf players was amazing. They didn't overdo it with the logos. Yes. Who was it? Phil Mickelson was wearing is it High Flyers? He's High Flyer, right?
Yep.
He was wearing a simple High Flyer t-shirt. I didn't see a Live Golf anywhere on him. Brookes Koepka obviously was wearing Nike from head to toe because it's sponsored by Nike.
Even Patrick Reed, he wasn't wearing like a full-on obvious.
Even Patrick Reed, he was wearing his. I don't even know if he's 4 Aces, but he was wearing his just a team logo, but it wasn't like overly done. At the end of the round, Phil Mickelson spoke, in an interview, spoke beautifully. It's good to see him play well again. It was like he didn't mention Liv, he didn't mention PGA in the interview. He was just humble. He was happy that he played well. He wasn't, angry or at anybody. He was just happy to be there. I'm glad he's back. Not on top because he's not on top. But I'm glad he's back in the mix of those good players that played at the Masters. So we definitely will see him again. Because after last year, when he didn't get invited, I was like, okay, that's the last of him. Because, the Masters are, notorious for banning players and, they are a real sticklers for rules. So, once they banned him, or once they didn't invite him last year because of what happened and everything, I was quite surprised that he was back this year, first of all. Second of all, I was, he was very humble, very nice. Everything was, fair play to him.
Yeah, I think last year obviously he does, as a former Masters winner, you can't deny him the fact that he could be participating. He should be participating. But I'm pretty sure something went behind the scenes last year where he agreed voluntarily not to participate because that was basically like at the peak of the breakaway league controversy. And I think right now, obviously they have discussed things and things are hopefully going towards the better of coexistence, right? And I'm glad to see that obviously Mickelson, Koepka, Patrick Reed even, right, making it top 10 in the Masters, right, putting it out there that, okay, come on, these are some of the best players in the world, you guys should be talking to each other, you might be not playing in the same league, but you should be, playing together, and even, you should be talking about each other, maybe not play against each other, but one day, hopefully, play against each other. But also, actually speaking of the Masters, sort of, rules and whatever goes on behind the scenes, I read something in the internet recently that I thought was actually quite interesting. How as a member of, you're a member of Mikulova, I'm a member of Moore Park and whatsoever, right? We get an annual subscription. Okay, do you want to renew a membership? We say yes, or do we not want to? If we say no, okay, then we basically okay, yeah, we don't. Well, we suspend our membership. But how the Masters work that way in terms of a membership.
I think I know, but tell me, and I'll tell you if I know anything more or anything less.
Okay. Yeah, you get a bill or not. That's it.
Wait, say that again?
You get your annual subscription, like members dues, right? A bill in the post, or you don't. If you do, right, you are invited to renew your membership.
No way.
If you don't, obviously you've done something wrong.
No way.
Yeah. And
Okay,
basically they've just decided to sack you as a member.
You know what? I have so many questions as all like, you know, golf fans about the master, about Augusta itself, right? So my first question is, how many is it like is it 1 in, 1 out? First of all, it probably is, right?
Well, I don't know. I think it just depends, right?
You just said, right, like it's you either get a bill or you don't. So you either get your fees or you don't. If you get your fees, you're a member for another year, right?
Well,
first of all,
assuming that you pay.
Yeah. It's not actually that expensive. It's only like $4,000 per year. It's the joining fee that's like 40 grand or something. But again, these are just rumors. But it's if you don't get a bill, do they give you a reason why?
No, you just don't get contacted, right?
But if you're already a member, you know people at Augusta. Surely you can call your playing buddies and be like, "Hey, can you?"
No, but they wouldn't know unless they're part of the membership committee, unless they're part of the whatever secret committee. Oh my God!
Right? Imagine, right? You're a member at Augusta. We're both members at Augusta. You get your fees through and you pay it. I don't get mine. I'm like, Chenji man, like I didn't get mine. Can you like ask and find out? And then you ask, and then you get banned the year after for asking.
And then next year I don't get my bill.
Yeah. Like imagine that.
Yeah, and the way it works as well, right? So obviously so Augusta National. Did you know that it's closed from late May to October?
I did not know that.
Did you not know that?
No. Is it closed?
So
like fixing it for the Masters?
No, just completely closed, right? Because first of all, it's too hot, in Georgia to actually play, right? In the summertime it gets like 36 degrees, 40 degrees. We've played in the heat. I don't get why it has to be closed because it's too hot. But first of all, they say it's too hot, and second of all, they can have the time to make the necessary changes for the following Masters, for example, to make improvements to the course, to again change and modify and improve the course layout. So literally for about 4 months, right, it's just completely shut off, even for members play, which I think that's absolutely crazy. But anyway, what happens is, late summer, right, so they open up usually like, in October time, right, where they start up with like a, captain's opening dinner or something, right?
Yeah.
And then in about sort of late August, early September, people get their bills, right? So if you receive your bill, right, you're invited to, be a member of Augusta for another year. If you don't get your bill, right, somebody's has obviously like decided that you are not worthy of the membership, so they cancelled you.
That's crazy, man. That's absolutely.
So no reasons, no letters, no communications. It's just
there's so many rules around. Like, could you handle that many rules? Like, can you have fun at Augusta?
And if Augusta, in my thoughts as well. Okay, if you just, for example, join as a member and paid £40,000, 100,000, I don't know whatsoever the joining fee is, right? And if the second or third year that you were sort of, you didn't get your bill, I wouldn't be surprised if they just send a check of like your joining fee as well, just because we don't care about your money. You just don't deserve to be a member.
Yeah,
right?
like they genuinely,
I don't know about the interest. Like
they genuinely
they don't care about the money.
Don't care about the money. I was reading, I think it's not a direct thing, but apparently they lose something like $274 million per year from the Masters that they could be making from advertising, but because they control the rights and they control, you don't see it much in England with Sky Sports Golf because every like 15 minutes there's adverts, but in America the rule is because it's the Masters broadcasting the golf, they sell the rights to CBS, but for a price, whatever the price is, but they say you can only show 2-minute adverts per every hour of golf. So
exactly.
So imagine
you're
limiting adverts, which means you're losing out on money. So that money that could be coming into CBS to pay the Augusta even more money than what they're already getting paid. They're like, no, we don't care about the money. We want the people at home to watch the golf. It's purely about golf.
And not just that as well, right? Obviously, like you can't, certain companies cannot be on TV, being associated with the Masters. So they let you know, right? These are so you have to get it before like a sponsor wants to air a commercial or like an advertisement on the broadcasters doing the Masters. The Masters Committee in Augusta has to actually approve them, right? So I don't think alcohol or tobacco or anything like that is allowed. I don't know. But, it's other stuff, if they don't deem it to be appropriate, right, they can just literally, no matter how much you want to pay, sorry, you cannot be advertising during the Masters tournament.
Yeah, saying that, they do make a bunch of money, though. Did you see the stats for the merch shop?
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
$1 million per hour from
crazy,
food,
man.
Drinks, and merch. $1 million.
Well, I think that's just merch, right?
It might be just merch.
Because the food and drinks are cheap, like $1.50 for a sandwich, right? $1.50 can't even get you like a meal deal.
Nothing. A bottle of water costs more than that.
A bottle, yeah, exactly. Like not even a sandwich in a supermarket in the UK will get will give you like the cheapest sandwich, right? Like that I don't know, the egg mayonnaise sandwich still costs like £1.50 now these days.
It's mad. It's absolutely crazy. But they do make bags and bags of money. But it's like, but you could be making a lot more, and they're like, we don't care about making more. We're happy with what we have. We just want to people to enjoy the golf. But it's just absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Last comment I have for so about the Masters at Augusta actually mainly. Have you ever wondered how many pro players are actually members of Augusta?
I'm going to say 0.
No, there are.
Okay, I'm going to say 2.
You are exactly right. There are 2.
Can I guess who it is?
Yes. You will probably guess one, but you will not guess the other one.
Okay, I'm going to guess it's either Fred Couples or Gary Player.
Incorrect.
Jack Nicklaus.
Yep, he's one.
So that's one. So is that the one that I would have got, right?
Yep, that's right.
And the other one I wouldn't get, right?
Nope.
Do I know who it is?
Probably not. I don't even know who he was.
Go on, who is it?
His name is John Harris.
Never heard of him. Is he alive?
He is alive, and up until recently, he was competing in the Champions.
No way.
The Champions Tour.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
That's right.
Imagine.
So only 2.
Imagine though, only 2 pros, and you could win the Masters, the greatest achievement in golf. Debatable, but the greatest achievement in golf. And if you want to go back 2 weeks later and play Augusta, you have to play with a member. Otherwise, you're not getting on. I don't care if you're Tiger Woods. They don't care if you're Jon Rahm, Scotty Scheffler. There's no way. Even Nick Faldo was kind of complaining a little bit. He was like digging at Augusta. He was like, just a few months ago, I wanted to go and play Augusta. And even I had to play with a member. I won the Masters 3 times, and even I had to play. And it's like, fair enough. Like, as if they're that strict, but they're not going to let Nick Faldo play at your course. Gee, that's crazy. Yeah. But they're like, we don't care, mate. We don't care who you are. I like that, though. That's proper, like, old school. Like, we don't care who you are. We don't care how much money you have. We have principles. We have, histories. Like, no.
And I bet, they actually enforce the rule of, maybe, same member cannot play more than 6 times in a year.
Again,
you can only invite up to 10 different members.
Do you think...
And to be fair, and again, if you did, right, they wouldn't say anything, but they definitely compile the stats. And you just, again, the following year, you're just not going to get a bill.
Do you think now I don't think this happens because of how strict Augusta are and how what's the word I'm looking for? How strict they are and how easily they will kick you off as a member, like you just said. Do you think how at JCB you can only play JCB if you work for JCB? And what the workers were doing, they were selling tee times on Facebook Marketplace, and they were like keeping the money. Like the people were keeping the money, and JCB kind of found out, and then they've scrapped this system, and they said, okay, the workers can play here, but only with immediate family. So I have friends that work for JCB, but I can't play at JCB because I'm not immediate family.
Exactly.
So do you think there's ever been a time where a member at Augusta has got paid let's say 30 grand or 20 grand by some celebrity or somebody rich to be like, okay, get me in as a guest and I'll give you 20 grand?
To be very honest with you, highly doubt it, because those who are invited to be, a member at Augusta, they probably don't even care about 20, 30,000. Like, there's no amount of money that would make him risk
100 grand
the membership. Okay, maybe.
Everybody has a price, right? There's a price for everybody.
Everybody has a price.
And Considering how difficult, like if you're a hardcore fan and you're loaded, let's say, I don't know who, let's say Mark Wahlberg, yeah? Let's say DJ Khaled, right?
Oh my God,
he's
DJ
the newest.
Can you imagine?
He's the newest
He'd pay $1 million.
Exactly.
He'd pay $1 million
That's
right
point,
now
right?
to play,
So
to want to play
Khaled
Augusta.
is like the newest lover of golf. Terrible swing.
Oh my God.
But good on him. He's getting out there. He's trying his best, right? And he's like, he wants to play Augusta. He's like, I'm DJ Khaled. Like I always win.
He's teaching his son to play golf as well, which is brilliant. I love it. I love it. I've seen videos. It's brilliant.
And then he's like, okay, I want to play Augusta. I don't care what it takes. I don't care how much it costs. Get it done. He's like talking to his assistant, like, get it done. And then his assistant goes off, finds a member at Augusta. He's like, yeah, you can play, but it's going to cost you $500,000. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, DJ Khaled was probably like a bad example because of how bad he is at golf. But somebody like, I don't know, Mark Wahlberg, he's really, really good at golf. Surely. But then again...
And to be fair, he's probably been invited before,
big
right?
Time.
So, and,
again, to my other point is, if I'm a member at Augusta, I might, and I'm not known, I'm not famous, shall we say, and then I'm going to probably say, imagine, like, I can be friends with Mark Wahlberg if I just invite him to play at Augusta. Like, that's instant friendship. Like, best friends forever.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like...
But, if...
Even money can't really buy that friendship or that that connection. Like, okay, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Mark, my daughter is an up and coming actress. Give her like a small part in your next movie. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, exactly. And
one of those things.
In that, again, the way JCB found out about this was because literally, like, the staff was, listing this on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I don't think any Augusta member was going to list,
it's not
around.
It's like word of mouth kind of
as
thing.
a member's guest.
Not like
it's going to be either. It's not even going to be a word of mouth. It's literally going to be like, again, direct referral, right? If my good friend, if for example, like, if I was a member there and you, like, you had a good friend, right, wanted to play and wanted to pay some money for it, right, I would just invite him over and he'd just pay the money, and I probably wouldn't even take it. It would just be a matter of like donating to the charity, my favorite charity, for example, but right? So
even that will probably get you banned because you accepted something when you
probably no, but correct. But again, nobody's ever going to know because it's a direct word of mouth. It's not even like strangers, right? Yeah. So,
Right.
So
anyway,
there
dude,
we go.
We've been in the podcast. We've been recording for like 45 minutes and we still haven't talked about Bulgaria. Like, we need to get
all right,
to
okay,
Bulgaria.
But dude, we could like, oh my God, we can talk for days and days and days about the Masters.
I know,
right?
I know.
But like, anyway,
and to be fair,
until next year, I'm taking off my hat. If you're watching this video, I've been having this hat on for the last week and the last week, exactly 7 days. I've been sleeping. I mean, every single time you've seen me, I've been wearing this hat, bathing with it, everything. So. With the conclusion of this, not the conclusion of the podcast, but the conclusion of our Masters coverage at the Rise and Slice podcast, I'm taking off this hat.
I'm gonna wait until you take off the hat. There you go. And now it's gonna get hung up in the closet up until next year. When it comes out. Right, dude. First of all, I don't even know where to begin about the golf.
Let's go.
So
let's go. I've seen some light pictures on your.
You've
Instagram,
seen nothing.
but
you've seen nothing. I haven't posted a single story on our Rice and Slice Golf Podcast Instagram page. Go follow, by the way. I didn't post anything because I was so focused on golf, not to play well, but I wanted to take it all in. I haven't touched my phone. I haven't done anything, right? The plan was we came to Bulgaria to play at Thracian Cliffs. The plan was we were going to play today, Monday, and tomorrow, Tuesday, at Thracian Cliffs. And Sunday, yesterday, we were supposed to play at the Lighthouse, which is where we're staying. Because of weather and how bad the weather was going to be, we swapped it all around and we played Thracian Cliffs yesterday and today. Yesterday, the weather was like, it was saying it's going to be like cloudy. Dude, it was like 17 degrees, not a single cloud in the sky. I got a little bit, not sunburned, but a little bit red, shall we say. Dude, you have never, ever even imagined a golf course like this. Words, pictures, videos cannot even begin to explain this golf course. It's unbelievable. People refer to this golf course, Thracian Cliffs, like the European Pebble Beach. I've never been to Pebble Beach, But if Pebble Beach, I can't imagine Pebble Beach being any better than this place. I genuinely, hand on my heart, cannot imagine how a golf course can be more picturesque and even more beautiful than this place. 18 holes, there is not a single boring hole. There isn't a single hole to play it just for the sake of playing. There's danger on every single hole. You're on cliffs, upon cliffs. There's views of the beach, the cliffs, everything, man. There's no, we on the first day, we recorded like a little vlog, which will come out on the YouTube page soon. I don't know when. We started as like a little stroke play video, but then we soon realized not only the golf was really bad because I was so focused on the video, and it would just make the video really bad because the golf was just terrible. I was constantly thinking about where the cameras are going to be, where the microphones are. You know, is the microphone okay? Am I on the way? All that kind of stuff. And it was just, so I was so focused on everything else apart from the golf that I didn't really take the golf in. So I flew out my nephew from Cyprus, which was actually really cheap to fly him out, just to be like the cameraman, because I felt like it would make my life a lot easier. It didn't. It made it a little bit easier, but dude, it's so difficult, man. Like to shoot a golf video, it's impossible. It's so difficult. So we started.
Did you have people behind you? Was it like did you had it basically to yourself?
Right.
Because from what I know, it literally just opened for like a day, basically,
so
2 days.
It opened on the Saturday before we got here. So I was like, oh, the fairways are going to be like no divots. The greens are going to be good. To be fair, when I was coming over, I was telling Stel, the greens, I don't know why, I have a feeling that they're not going to be good. They're not going to be fast. They weren't. The greens, they looked perfect, but they were really slow. And what's the opposite of true? Lie? I don't know. Like, dude.
True.
Dude, like the
faith. I don't know.
it was like very undulating greens. So it was like a normal putt for, let's say, you read it and it's like, I don't know, let's say a foot to the left, like a big slope. I'm not talking like a cup to the left or cup to the right, like a big slope, right? You're like, oh yeah, it's a foot to the left. You play it and it will go straight, as in straight to where you're aiming. The ball wouldn't turn. You would hit the ball really hard and it wouldn't travel. Now the course is dry; it's not wet or anything like that. But the ball was just so slow. Now the worst part of my game is putting, right? Stel's best part of his game is putting, and he got so frustrated because even he couldn't figure it out because the greens were so slow. They weren't even true. So it's like, okay, so you hit it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna play it straight because the ball is not turning. And then you play it straight, and then it would be like turn last second. Or it's like, oh, you're gonna play it like a cup to the left. You play it a cup to the left, and then the ball stops like 5 feet before the hole, like to the left. It's like it doesn't turn, it doesn't do anything. So the greens weren't great, but what the greens lacked, the fairways, the tee boxes, the rough, the views made up for it. Like we didn't even really care that the greens weren't great. The rough was perfect. It was like fluffy, beautiful green grass. You could like flop a shot and you're not going to thin it because like the ball was always sitting up nice. I used my 60-degree wedge like more times than I've ever used it in my life. I've used it more in one round because you're not scared of hitting it. There's like the bunkers are like full of beautiful like soft sand. Dude, you missed out, man. You missed out like you would not believe. And not only that, the course is very, very difficult. It's probably one of the most difficult courses I've ever played, just because it's on cliffs, it's on hills, right? So there's not like there's no flat shots. The ball's either above your feet, below your feet, downhill, uphill. There's no easy shots, right? So there's a lot of like shot shaping, even though we can't really shot shape, but there's a lot of, the ball's like 6 inches above my feet. I need to aim, right, because the ball's going to go left, for example, So there's a lot of that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of if you slice the ball, it's going in the ocean, no questions asked. The first day on the Sunday that we played, the weather was perfect for golf. We played terrible golf, really, really bad. I kept like slicing balls into the water. Like there's no room for error. And where the tee boxes are there's like a lot of blind shots, right? So you can see like the tip of the fairway, and the fairway from 200 yards away, it looks like it's 20 yards wide. But when you're down there, it's like 100 yards wide. But obviously, it's the first time we're playing this course. We don't know these little tips, shall we say, right? When we played yesterday, there was probably 6 groups out. But again, that we played at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There was nobody in front of us for like 5 holes, and we were the last group out. We had buggies. Like, you can't play this course without a buggy. It's like Aphrodite Hills, but on steroids, like steroids. There's I think it's a 6 par 3. It's just like, it's a 200-yard shot downhill, plays like 140 yards. Mate, it's absolutely beautiful. It's that easy to lose balls that like you're in a buggy, they've got like a little monitor that shows you the course and how far away you are and everything. And every like 40 seconds or a minute, a message pops up saying it is forbidden to use range balls. If caught using range balls, €100 fine. Because a lot of people, they lose that many balls playing this course that they just go to the range, put a little token in for like €2 for like 20 balls, and they get the range balls and they go and play golf using the range balls. Because they're like, I'm not buying Pro V1s or Callaways. I lost over the 3 rounds that we've played, I lost probably 15 balls or maybe 20 balls. Easy.
That's not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, wait, 3 rounds already?
Okay, so...
Did you play 3 rounds?
Okay, so yesterday we played 1 round. And
then
we're
no,
like, oh
no
my
way
God.
did you play 2 rounds today?
So we're like, oh yeah, brilliant, whatever. We were like over the moon. After we stopped kind of recording a little bit, we kind of relaxed. We enjoyed the golf. We enjoyed the weather. I just took in all the views, man. We brought a drone with us. We were messing around with the drone. Like, I had 2 batteries for the drone, and like I flattened them out. So I hope the drone footage looks good in the video. I've never used a drone before. But we were like taking photos, taking videos.
That was the second silly purchase of the week.
Yeah, it was a big silly purchase. Yeah. So we did that on the first day.
So what was it? Was the tee time pretty spread out there? Was there not a lot of people playing there?
No, there's nobody playing. Because it's like the beginning of the season, there's like nobody. So we're staying at the Lighthouse. It's called the Lighthouse Golf Resort. And this golf resort is literally a resort. You can play golf. There's restaurants. There's like a kids area. There's a massive swimming pool. There's a lot of things to do, right? Normally in the peak of high season, there's like 4 restaurants in this hotel. But because the season just started, there's only 1 restaurant open. And there's nothing around us. So there's no like groceries. Like if you want crisps or chocolate or anything like that, we can't, like, the nearest town is like half an hour away. We can't get anything, right? And Thracian Cliffs is exactly the same. It's like a small village. It's exactly like Aphrodite Hills. It's like a small village. It's got grocery shop. It's got a cafe. It's got restaurants. It's got loads of things, but everything is closed. There's 1 restaurant, 1 little bar and grill that's open at Thracian Cliffs. So there's nobody around. So yesterday, like I said, there were 6 groups like going around. Today, we teed off at 11 in the morning. We were the only people on the course. There was not a single, another tee time, because we were supposed to play at 10 in the morning. We had a late night last night because we were watching the Masters. We went to bed at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Woke up at 9, like, yeah, we're not making it to 10. I called the pro shop, like, sheepishly, like, oh my God, they're not going to have any tee times available. And they were like, yeah, just come whenever you want, just tee off. And we're like, what? Yeah, we went there. I was like, yeah, is anybody behind us? They were like, yeah, no. I was like, okay, is there anybody in front of us? They're like, mate, like, there's no other tee times. We had their entire course today completely to ourselves. The only problem was today, it was very cloudy and the wind was like 15, 20 mile winds. And the last thing you want is wind on a course like this, because not only is it easy to like lose balls.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Right. So we actually played way better today than when we played yesterday. Way, way, way better. Like, we were smashing the ball around today. We played very well today. Anyway, so we teed off at 11. We finished around like 2. And then we were like, me and Stel kind of looked at each other and we were like, shall we go again? And then we had plans booked like for like a 6 o'clock or whatever at the hotel. So we were like, shall we sneak on and play another 9 holes and not tell them? And then we were like, okay, let's go to the pro shop and just see how much it costs for another 9 holes. We go to the pro shop, and they were like, oh, normally I should say it's like 110 euros to play this golf course. So it's like 90 pounds or whatever it is. 100% worth the money, first of all. So we went to the pro shop and we're like, how much does it cost to play another 9 holes? And they were like, oh, we don't have a 9-hole price, but it costs 55. It's half the price to play another 18. And I was like, okay, can we keep the buggies and we don't have to pay the buggies again and go play and pay 55 euros and go and play again? They're like, yeah, no problem. They were lovely, like very nice, very friendly, very helpful. So so we paid 55 euros. We went again thinking we would only have enough time to get 9 holes in. Dude, in 2.5 hours, we played 18 more holes. So we played 36 holes today.
That's amazing.
It was, mate, we had the best time. We were laughing, we were having a good time. You know, the wind, like it was so windy, we didn't even care. We were smashing balls. The front 9, it was like wind was against us. The back 9, wind was helping. It was amazing, mate. I can't explain to you like how amazing it was. And we were the only people on the golf course today. So we could do, like, we didn't mess around. We literally just played 36 holes, no messing about. We played match play on the first round. I beat Stel 17-1. No, what am I saying? 1-1. So I beat him 1 up with 1 hole to go. I was kind of hoping that it would go to like the final hole and have like a playoff.
Well, 2-1 because you've just automatically won.
That's it. And then on the second round, Stel smashed it. Hello, mate. Do you want to come in? Come. Stel's like listening because we're talking about. You don't say 1-1, mate. I don't know.
Look at that. We've made it. We've got a live audience for our podcast recording.
So this is my cousin Stel. You're going to see him in the video. That's the camera, but that's Chenji.
Hi, Chenji.
He can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Okay, right. Mate, on the second one.
Yeah. So the first match play, I beat him. Second, he smashed it. Absolutely smashed me. But the issue was, like, it was quite close. But the only reason it was close is because he was playing bad. And I was just, you know, like I would get like a double bogey, but he'd lose the ball. So he was like, oh yeah, let's just concede the hole. So that's the only reason why I was like, it was quite close. It was, I think we made it up to like the 15th or 16th hole where there was a chance of me coming back, but there wasn't. Yeah. But it was good fun, man. Like it was amazing.
You drove the ball.
That's brilliant.
I drove the ball, mate. I figured out my driver because obviously I got the new driver.
Mate, you've been figuring out your drivers since like last December.
I got
apparently,
the new driver.
it's like
I couldn't hit it. I was going driving range, whatever. We spoke about this a couple of episodes ago, mate. Today, I don't know what it was. I was smashing the driver. It was beautiful. Yeah. I loved it. We had a great time, and then I almost died, didn't I,
mate?
What the hell?
Oh,
what the hell? Tell us more.
So,
not funny, but scary.
We're laughing about it now.
You haven't told him yet.
No. So this is the last. What am I going to say? The last. I'm going to move over so you can come over. I don't know if you're in the camera. I hope you are. But yeah. So this is the last point I'm going to make on Thracian Cliffs. Yesterday, the first round, I fell off a small cliff.
Yeah. About 4 meters.
About 4 meters high.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what happened was, this is the clickbait for the video, but it's actually true. So what happened was, we were like on the 4th or 5th hole, and I hit a shot, and I sliced it into the sea. Yeah. So we were like on the seaside of the golf of the hole, right? So I sliced it. So I dropped under the ball, you know, took my penalty, and then I kind of hit it. And my nephew that was with me, he was walking to like on the fairway, but on the seaside of the fairway. And he was like, oh, Theo, I can see your ball. He was far away.
I was a bit further back, like about, I don't know, 50 yards
50 yards away. No, wait. You're getting too far ahead. So then he was like, oh, Theo, I can see your ball. So at this point, we're standing like like a foot away from the edge of the cliff. Right? So I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Like you can recognize like a brand new Pro V1. It was a Pro V1, by the way. So I'm like, oh yeah, go grab it. And he was like, yeah, how am I going to get down there? I can't get it. So then I was like, oh yeah, okay, you know, whatever. Like there's no way of us getting down there. So I'm not going to do it. But what we didn't see was that next to us, obviously, if there was like a bunker. I don't know if you know this, but underneath bunkers, it's not just like mud and then sand. They put tarp down. I think it's called tarp, right? It's tarp, like plastic sheet, shall we say?
Okay, yeah.
And then sand on top of that. But because obviously the course only just opened, what they did with this bunker was it's a bunker, but it kind of fades down to the cliff, and the tarp it goes over the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
But and because
Oh my God.
and because it was like there was like the top was full of dirt, it looked like the edge of the cliff. I didn't see that wasn't the edge of the cliff.
Oh,
so I just put my foot literally on the edge
God.
of the cliff, what I thought was the cliff, but it was like the loose tarp. My foot goes straight through the tarp, right? And I'm falling. And at this, I'm next to my nephew, and my nephew was like, Theo. He put his hands out to like grab me, and I'm like, I'm gonna die now. Honestly. So I fall down like literally 2 meters. And then I'm like on halfway to the cliff. I somehow like hit my feet somewhere. I land 4 meters and then I tumble over.
On the sand.
On the
rocks.
It was like rocks. There was like massive rocks and stones, and I land on the stone. I like tumble over, and I'm like I land right next to my Pro V1, and I get up and I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe, and I'm like looking around like I'm okay. Like my knees are hurt a little bit, but I'm like, oh my God, and then adrenaline kicks in. I jump on my cousin. My nephew, sorry, he's like, oh my God, my Stasso, he's like, oh my God, like he's like looking at me like, oh Theo, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you dead? And I'm all like Stel was like 50 yards away.
And I can see my nephew like holding his
like,
head.
Yeah,
like,
his head.
Thought,
and then
what's going on?
Yeah,
what
and
happened?
then I couldn't believe it, right? And then Stel was like, I was like thinking, oh, Stel's gonna run over and like check up on me, see if I'm okay. Stel didn't even hear nothing, he didn't see nothing. All he saw was my nephew like holding his head, like, oh my God, Theo, you okay? Anyway, I'm down there, I pick up my ball, and then Stel comes over and he was like, are you okay? Like at this point we're laughing because I'm somehow okay.
Oh, it was scary,
Mate, it was so scary. A couple of scratches. Today, I'm not gonna lie, today.
You weren't bruised, were you?
No, I genuinely thought that I was gonna be like bruised. Like I thought, I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to play golf today because of how hard the hit was, but I'm completely fine. Like, I don't know how. Like, I have no bruises. I have no pain.
And you played
I played 2 rounds of golf today and actually played really well. So,
yeah, that's all good.
dude, I don't know how I didn't hurt myself.
Good thing the cliff wasn't high.
Yeah, dude, there's some big cliffs, like cliffs, like Highland Scotland cliffs, massive cliffs, right? And I was at the smallest cliff, shall we say, that I could have been. 4 meters. It was about like 3 or 4 meters high. Obviously, it's not like the end of the world, but it was high enough to scare the shit out of me. So yeah.
I'm going out.
Mate, when it's not your turn, it's not your fucking turn.
It was crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe it. But then again, I did get my Pro V1 back, so it's all good. The things we do for a Pro V1,
Oh my
mate.
God. The things we do for a Pro V1. Okay, that should be the title of this, like...
Yeah, of this podcast.
podcast.
Right, mate,
It's
listen,
like
I could talk about...
the things we do. Oh my God.
I could talk about Thracian Cliffs for ages. This podcast, I think, has been going on for like over an hour and 10 minutes, I think, at this point. Incredible golf.
Right.
We played 3 rounds.
We need to follow that up. Part 2. We need to have a part 2 Thracian Cliffs, right? Especially like you're still playing another round. Hopefully tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's
let's talk a bit more. It's a different
rain.
one.
100% rain tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't think we're playing golf tomorrow. But we've got 3 rounds in Thracian Cliffs. I'm very happy, dude. We have to come back.
Let's have a proper review. You absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like, looks like it's a perfect place for a summer destination.
Mate, I cannot stress enough how amazing this place is. We have to come back. We need to do it.
I may have a client who owns a property in that part of the world.
Well, listen, Bulgaria apparently is very big. So if it's this side of Bulgaria, perfect. Let's do it. But then again, the hotel was very cheap. So either way, we need to come back. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one. There's a video coming out soon. I don't know how good the video is going to be, Chenji, because we did stop recording at one point and then we started off again. Like, we ran out of battery on the cameras, on the microphones, on the drone.
I was literally gonna say, like 2 minutes ago, the same thing happened to me, and that's why I was like rushing over there to like fix it.
What? What did the camera go off?
No, it went off, but I knew it was in time. But like, so there was literally no gap. There was like 5 minute, 30-second gap.
That's fine. I put a pretty picture on your face where the gap was.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you in the next one. Please like, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.